Hey guys, Amber here with my sidekick.
Day 2, she can't get enough of me.
Day 2, it's because he's leaving to go to the motorhome tomorrow. So this was my chance. All right.
She's kicking me out.
Okay, all right, so we're gonna tell a little bit of a story here. And I think it's important to say that although you and I are probably pretty intuitive about decisions.
And quick decision maker, even when it's an important decision, we don't sit too long on probably 97% of decisions. Okay, now, Jay, do you remember our New Year's resolutions? I certainly do. We are not talking about moving or real estate.
Okay, so
exclamation point.
Yeah, for 2019, we were like, okay, we are not talking about moving and we are not purchasing real estate. Like we did a little bit of what we thought was like real estate investment for the last few years, and we're like, it's not our gig. And we live in an area where if it is your gig, you can capitalize, right? It's like a vacation community. We just decided it wasn't our gig. So it's on our list to not talk about moving to anywhere this year, okay? And then is this your idea, Jay?
Oh, come on now. Yeah.
This is my idea.
No, I think we went looking at houses one day after yoga.
Mm-hmm.
And we got
Is that how it started?
Yep.
That's how it started. Yep.
In the rain.
In the rain. Yep. Okay, so how did we know there was a house down there? We were just going there for fun?
We just drove, because we usually do that. After yoga, we'll just drive to where we want to go, but we weren't going to look because we're not doing anything in 2019. But we did it anyway.
That's right. Okay, so yes, there's this one community that we want to live in, right? And we just knew that 2019 was not the year. That's right. We go there. We look at an open house, and it's extreme amount of money. It's an extreme amount of money, you guys. We live on the water right now. It's not a super great view, but let me see if I can do this and show you guys. I mean, it's a great view. Let me say that. It's a great view. It's kind of rainy out, but we live on the water. We live on the bay. We have access to the Gulf of Mexico. So there's our backyard. It's not super sunny, but it's amazing and it's gorgeous and we love it. And we live in a newly remodeled home and we love it. Okay, so this house, do you remember this, Jay? This house was a crazy amount of money.
Yep.
And oh my gosh, I do. Lisa Jorgensen, how are you? Hall Lake. I remember the burgers. Do you remember the burgers on that? Wasn't that a really great burger joint? With the egg. How are you?
Wow. Hi, Lise.
That's so funny.
Years.
So that's back in the 3M days, you guys. Scotch tape and Post-it notes. Right?
I was thinking of the name of that restaurant.
Okay. Yep. Lisa, what's the name of that restaurant? Do you remember that restaurant with the egg on the burger? Okay, everybody has eggs on burgers now, but that was the first egg on burger joint. Okay, so do you remember this house, Jay? It's gorgeous, but it is a large sum of money, and you can't see the water. You can't see the Gulf of Mexico. It was like a half a mile that way, you guys. And you can't see the bay. There's no water. And we were like,
this is no deal.
No deal. Now we're there. And
then the lady said, hey, do you know about the XYZ development right across? We're like, no.
The Channel Burger.
And
Nicole, I got my hair done today, once every 6 months. That's
with
why.
With crinkle fries.
Channel Burger. Lisa, it's so funny. Gosh, they were good.
Yeah, they were.
Okay, yeah, so this lady says, do you know about this one place? It's right over there. It's like a block away, and it's a new development, and you can see the ocean, right? The Gulf of Mexico. And we were like, oh, okay. So we go look.
We did.
We go look.
I love it.
We love it. We think we're going to put an offer on a house. We contact Jody, our realtor. You guys are self-employed, so being self-employed, it's not the easiest thing to get a loan. So this part's super downstream. We contact Jody. Jody contacts 2 people. You contact these 2 people, and what happens with the loan?
We could do it.
We're pre-approved.
We're pre-approved, and so it got real quick.
Yeah, it was like so downstream. It's like, okay, this place, and then you can buy this house, and we got pre-approved for double the amount of money that we actually want to spend.
Right.
Okay, we were like, really? Pre-approved for that much? And we're self-employed?
He's like, yep, let's make it happen.
Yeah, let's make it happen. We were like, okay. So then, this is another thing too, you guys. So when we moved here in this house in 2014, it took us about 25 minutes to get out to where a lot of this, like the yoga studio that I go to.
Augie's school
is out there now. So just a lot of things we do are about 20 miles east of us, okay? Took us about 25 minutes to get there. Today's day and age, it takes us about an hour to an hour and a half because everybody under the planet is moving to this area because it is very gorgeous and awesome, and if you're an entrepreneur and you can work from home, it's really kind of a cool place to live. And I'm the one that brings Augie to the school most of the time because Jason, you guys, he doesn't live here half the week.
Do you want to describe that just quickly?
Our relationship is really good. We've been married 20 years.
I just kick him out half the week. No.
I'm building a part of our business in another area, an hour and a half away.
Yeah.
So I stay in that area 2 to 3 days a week.
Yeah. So Jason's
For the
over
last
there.
year.
Yeah, for the last year in a motorhome 2 to 3 days a week. Then I go like an hour this way. And there was one day, do you remember this, Jay? It's like May. I get Augie's about finishing up with school for the season, but it's May and it takes me like an hour and 45 minutes to get home. And I'm like, that's it.
I
We're
still
moving.
have the screenshot.
That's it. We're moving. I'm done. I know it was our 2019 resolutions, but I'm moving. Okay, so that was kind of like the snap line, right? Is because I know we didn't want to talk about it, but you guys, the amount of time that I spend in a car is sometimes up to 3 hours a day driving Augie there and back and then there and back. Or sometimes I like hang out there in the middle of the day because I'm not going to drive back here and then drive back out there in this crazy traffic. So I was like, even though it's only 20 miles, it's probably time to start talking about moving.
And we did.
And we did. Okay, then we met with our realtor, and you guys, it was so funny because they were like, okay, we looked at land, we looked at new homes, we looked at old homes, we looked on the bay, we looked on the ocean, we looked everywhere. In this, like close to this area, we looked everywhere. So finally, my friend Kelly's like, okay, what is the one thing that's important to you? And I go, water. Right? Jason and I, from Minnesota, we lived on lakes.
Yep.
Water.
Yep.
Okay, so then we find this house. You want to tell this part?
Amber already sees herself there.
No, I don't.
The first house.
No, the one that we just made an offer on today.
What would you like?
Well, I don't, like it's okay, did you know, okay, all the other houses that we looked at, let me say this. First of all, do you guys know that Jason doesn't know he's going Facebook Live with me until about 90 seconds before?
You're getting the raw version.
Yeah. Okay, so all of the other houses that we looked at, what did you say about them? Like,
There was no good feeling. It's like I don't want to sell our house for that house. It wasn't worth. Then we get to this location and it's like, okay, now we're talking that this is a potential opportunity. And the more we looked at it, the more we went back a couple times, and it was like, okay, we could see ourselves here because it's a lot kind of set up like our house.
Yeah.
And it really started that conversation made it real, I should say.
I would say like in the first 5 minutes of the other homes, we were like, oh, this would be fine for now. But like this would be fine as a stepping stone to get out to this area. All of the other houses were that way. Except we found one that was like crazy, wildly expensive. And it was gorgeous, but I was like, I even said to the realtor, like, they're gonna get this much money for this house? Like, it is wildly crazy. So that one was...
I'm with you, Mark. Thanks for... I lost the battle.
So, but this one we walked in and we were like, it's almost like, this is one thing I know. Within the first 5 minutes, we probably knew this is probably the house.
Yeah.
If
we were gonna do what we wanted to do and move, this was the house.
This was the house. If we're gonna make the move, this is the house. Here's the deal, you guys. It is a considerable amount. It's much more money than, it doesn't mean we can't afford it. It's just Jason and I are really responsible with our money. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, why is it that much more money, right? So that's one thing I think we've been battling with. Now, intuition doesn't know money. Intuition doesn't care if you're rich, broke, won the lottery, poor ass, doesn't matter. Does that make sense? Like intuition doesn't. Now, what happens is our cognitive brain starts to be like, so Jason and I keep her like, it's that much more money, and then what's the house payment? And I've been talking to my friends. I'm like, doesn't mean we can't afford the house payment. It's just constantly on my mind. Like, I don't know, is it necessary? And then one of my friends is like, okay, here's the deal, Em. You spend 3 hours in the car a day. So what you pay for your house payment now and what you would pay for your house payment in this vehicle, would you write a check every month for the difference to not spend 3 hours a day in the car? And I'm like, yep. They go, great. Then go offer on the house. So now that was about 2 or 3 weeks ago and we still hadn't offered. Right?
Yeah, and Amber and I were the same. We're like, we're just being with it. And it's funny. Do you want to offer on the house? Sure. Do you want to offer? Sure. Is this the house we want? Yeah. But it was never a committed conversation. I mean, it was semi-committed. Yeah. And we wanted to make an offer, but we just never pulled it. Even today. We're like, because Amber says, let's make an offer. This was last Thursday. Told our real estate agent, we're going to make an offer Monday.
Yeah.
And then I message Amber like 3 or 4
o'clock today.
o'clock. Hey, were we gonna make an offer today? Oh yeah,
like,
maybe I should call the real estate.
Should I call her? Right? So you guys we don't have super strong intuition. I think though, let me tell you what I think is messing up our intuition. The cost of the house is more. For me, this is what messing up my intuition. I love this house. We bought it, we stripped it, we remodeled it. It's amazing. It's everything I've ever wanted. There's a few things that I might, right? But it's amazing. Okay, so those are the things that are kind of messing me up. The thing that like there's sometimes I'd say sometimes like pain, you guys, is more of a motivator sometimes, right? The what's the Jim Rohn quote? Discipline and regret. What's that one? Pain of regret. Something, or the pain of regret. Does that make sense, you guys? There's some quote.
Pain of moving forward, or the pain of regret of not moving forward.
There's something like that, right? Like you're either inspired or you're desperate. Like you get motivated because you're inspired, or you get motivated because you're desperate. We're not desperate, you guys, but the pain of not moving forward is what's motivating me a little bit. I said to Jason, so what if somebody else buys this house? And we were like, that's a little painful. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. It's almost like, you guys, when we almost quit our business. We were in our business for 7 years, you guys, and it didn't work for 7 years. The one that we are doing now, okay? But it was 7 years at this one level in the company, and it didn't work. You know what was, and then I thought about going back to corporate America. What motivated me more was, you guys, the thought of having to go back to a cubicle. So that's what, I have the goosebumps. So have the goosebumps right now. The pain of thinking that I had to call the company back, Lisa Jorgensen, right, 3M. The pain of thinking that I had to call the company back, sit in a cubicle, right, and go back to corporate America, that pain was so motivating for me to figure it out. So it's a little bit like the house. The pain of not moving out there, the pain of having to drive 3 hours a day, the pain of somebody else actually getting the house is actually motivating Jason and I more, you guys, than, don't you think?
Yeah.
Than like, oh my gosh, it's such an amazing house. Because quite honestly, we have a really amazing house.
For us.
Yeah, for us. You know what I mean? Like when you just love your, like there's nothing else I would want. This thing is amazing. Okay, so let me just wrap this thing up. When you don't have intuition and you don't know, you just take one step. So Jason and I just said today, I go, okay, here's the deal. We make an offer, and if it's downstream, it's going to work, and if it's not downstream, it's not going to work.
I think when in doubt, we always go on that route. Is it upstream? Are we fighting the circumstances, or is it downstream? Does it just fall in line? And that's really, if we don't have the intuition right set, or this is the answer, we just kind of move forward and see what happens.
Yeah. So, like finding the house, and then finding that community, and then we're like, okay, we get with our realtor, and we looked at the 5 or 10 different houses, and then we find this house. That was all super fast, easy downstream. Even Jason calling these 2 lenders, super fast, easy downstream. Like within a day, they're like, okay, pre-approved. We're like, okay. Jason calls me. He's
this
like,
has never happened
ever. We're pre-approved. I'm like, we're pre-approved? Really? What? Like as self-employed, you guys? We're really pre-approved? Wow. Okay. So far, it's all been downstream. So I think that's all. We made an offer today. It was so funny. I call our realtor. She's a really great friend of ours. I'm like, hey, Joe, I think we're going to make an offer. She goes, okay, I'm in my office. I'll have it to you over in an hour. I'm like, okay, great. So I called Jason. I was like, just on the phone with Jody, 15 seconds. She's going to have it to us in an hour. So
we signed the DocuSigns and we submitted an offer.
About 2 hours ago. So we'll keep you posted. The thing is, I think we're super detached, which is
Either
healthy.
way is great.
Yeah, if this is the house, it'll be downstream, and if it's not, we are pleased. So that is just a little bit about how we move forward, actually, you guys, when we don't have intuition. We just take one step. I know these people are going to either like throw our offer out, okay, or they're going to counter offer, and then we'll tune in a little bit. Either way, if they throw our offer out, if they counter offer, we tune in a little bit, and then we figure it out from there. But sometimes, can I just say this as we wrap up? Don't you find sometimes people want to know the whole path, Jay? And because they can't see the whole pathway, they don't take the first step.
Right. Just like driving a car, all you need to see is in front.
Yeah.
Not around the corner. You'll get there.
You'll get there. Okay. Peace out. We'll keep you posted.